Hi. Okay, so this workout is actually a little bit more yoga inspired. So it is going to be sort of like a flow, and most of it will take place on a yoga mat or on the ground. So I sort of angled my camera down towards the ground so that you can see what's happening. So we're actually going to be, working upper body, a lot of abs today, and some stabilization, some balance training is happening, and you're definitely going to feel your body heating up because we're going to be using a lot of core muscles. So I am just going to start with a exercise called a roll up. So this is great for this is an actual Pilates exercise that is really great for warming up your entire body. So you're going to start here in a seated position, so my back is nice and tall. I'm gonna pull my shoulders back, my head up to the ceiling, and I am just going to bring my hands into a forward position here. Okay, head, you can point your toes. I'd rather you didn't flex them. I'd rather you just kind of point your toes down towards the front wall. So we're gonna roll down, and you're gonna imagine like you have Play-Doh underneath your back, and your head is the last thing that comes up. You're gonna bring your arms up over your head, get a nice stretch, and now you're gonna bring your arms up. You're gonna peel your back off the floor, starting with your head, and one vertebrae at a time, you're gonna scoop up into a seated position. We're just gonna start there, and then we're just gonna stretch a little bit forward, elongating the back. Don't want you to round your back. Keep it held right there, reach towards your toes, and we're gonna do it all again. So we're gonna roll back, and it's okay. If you need to, you can always bend your knees a little bit in this roll up. I know that this is kind of challenging. You're gonna use your arms right now to help you up. So you're gonna come up, peel your head off the floor, really scoop your navel into your spine, back nice and tall, and stretch towards those toes. Should feel a little stretch in the hamstrings right there. Here we go, let's do it again. Roll it down, tuck your head, your chin into your chest right there. Head drops, arms come back, they come right back up. Peel the head off the floor and squeeze right there is where your abs really engage to bring yourself off the ground. And two, if you want to, you can always place your feet underneath a piece of furniture. So if you have a couch nearby, or a chair that you want to stabilize your feet underneath that couch or the piece of furniture, that's going to help you right there with lifting your back off the ground and forward. And I love that so much. Let's do it one more time. So this is called a roll up, and we're going to come up one more time. Scoop the head, lift the head, tuck the chin in, lift the spine off the ground, and forward, and up. Let's just come back to a neutral position. So you should feel like your abs have a little bit of heat going on. You should feel like you have a little bit of a stretch going on in the back of your legs. We're going to come down and do something called a 100. So another Pilates move, and I'll give you two different versions of this. So you can do with your feet planted on the ground. You're going to roll down into this position. So you can leave it where your feet are on the ground, and you lift your hands and your shoulders off the floor, and you're going to do it here, and your chin is going up to the chest. Or if you want to bring a little extra heat into it, you can lift your knees into a tabletop position and do it here. So we're going to inhale for 5, exhale for 5. So what it looks like is here. Just give me a second to demonstrate. So you're here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do that about 20 times or so. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to bring my feet up into tabletop. Remember, you can always lift them or lower them to the ground. Hands come up. They're just right above your butt. And your palms are going to press towards the ground. So actively press your arms as you breathe in. Here we go. Breathe in and out. In and out. And actually inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And inhale through your nose and exhale. In and out. And in and out. A couple more. In and out. 2 more. And out. And in and out. Good. I'm sure you can actually hear me blowing the air out of my stomach, so you're going to really, I'm pretty sure you're feeling a little bit of heat generating in your body right now from that. All right, so we're going to do a knee pull with a little bicycle crunch. So I'm going to bring both knees up. I'm going to lift my shoulders off the ground. I'm going to press one knee in. I'm going to hug this knee to my chest, and I'm going to inhale here. As I exhale, I'm going to switch. So I actually just felt my hip pop. A little bit of a stretch happening here. Here we go. We're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. In through the nose, out through the mouth. This is really good for teaching you breathing too. And out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out. And if your neck is bothering you a little bit, you can always drop that head to the floor. Don't want to strain the spine. Once your abs get a little bit stronger, holding your head up is going to come more from your abs and less from your neck. And out. Let's do 2 more. In and out. Last one. In and out. Good. All right. If you want to, you could just grab both knees. We're going to hug it in. Just kind of rock it a little bit side to side. Happy baby. Okay. I am actually going to kick my feet up and roll up into a position here. All right, so we are going to work those triceps again. I know how much you probably really love this move, but I think it is just absolutely awesome for working the triceps, the back of the arms, and getting some work on your shoulders as well. So we're going to bring it here, fingertips pointing towards your feet, and we're going to rock your hands, your arms back, elbows going straight back behind you. Lift up. Now you're going to lift your butt to the ceiling and then back down. So it's not a whole big lift. You're just kind of lifting your butt up off the ground, and you're engaging the back of the arms. Up, lift, and lower. So that lift is just to feel your butt come off the ground, just to engage those arms. And down, up, lift, and lower, and down, up, lift, and lower, and down, up, lift, and lower. So the lower you get to the ground with those elbows without resting them on the ground, so just about a couple centimeters off the ground, you're really going to start to feel that in the back of the arms. Lift and lower, and down, up, lift, and lower. We had 5, up, lift, and lower. Engage those arms, squeeze through the palms, press the palms into the floor. 2, down, up. Remember, look forward with the head, keep the head in line with the spine. 2, we got 1 more. Up, lift, and lower. Good. All right, should feel a little heat coming into the arms as well on that. I am actually going to grab 1 weight, and you can grab a light weight. If you've got 5 or an 8, or if you want to be a rock star and grab a 10, you can do that, but I suggest just kind of going light because we're just doing a Russian twist right here. So I'm going to show you from the side. I've got weight in front of my chest. I'm going to kind of lower my back down just a little bit. So I'm at an angle, my head is in line with my spine. I'm going to twist to one side, and I'm going to twist to the other side. So right now you can kind of see I'm squeezing my thighs together. So the more you squeeze your thighs together, the more this is gonna burn in your lower abs. You're really gonna feel it as you twist from side to side. Now remember, you wanna keep your back nice and tall. You don't wanna hunch over, not here. Nice and elongated. We got a long spine. Really working on the postural muscles. Good, just kind of breathe as you go. Don't hold your breath, especially when we're working ab muscles. You wanna make sure you're breathing because that oxygen going in and out of your abdomen is actually what's helping your muscles to contract and release, and that is what's building those muscles, okay? So you really wanna make sure that you are breathing the entire time. You can do this without a weight as well. We've got 2 more. We've got 1 more, side to side. Whoo, good job. I hope you made it through all of those. All right, so I'm gonna put my weight to the side here, and I'm going to come into a tabletop position. We're gonna do some glute work, because you know how I love my glute work. So we are gonna come into a tabletop position. I've got my hands directly underneath my shoulders, and my knees are underneath my hips. I've got, make sure I don't hit something behind me. I'm gonna take my leg out in back of me, 1 leg at a time. I'm going to lift my leg to the about halfway up, okay? So I'm just in 1 straight line. So I've got a straight line going from my foot to my head. I'm looking right at the floor in front of me. I'm not looking at my knee, I'm not looking at my toe. I'm looking right up in front of me. We're just gonna hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're gonna drop that foot. Keep that active leg engaged in back of you because we're gonna do it again on this same side. Here we go, lift it up, and 1, 2. So you're not arching your back, it's just nice and straight. Just actively engaging that glute. It's not going any higher. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, so you should feel that squeeze as you're lifting right here where the butt meets the top of your thigh. All right, ready? We've got 2 more times, just like that. We're gonna lift it up, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And I'm actually feeling my opposite leg engaging a little bit too because it's holding me up. Okay, 1 more time, lift it up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Just gonna stretch it back. It's a little bit of a rock back into child's pose just for a second. And I'm going to turn around so you can see it on the other leg, but you can stay in the same position if you like. Okay, hands underneath the shoulder, leg comes back, and we're gonna lift it up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and drop it. So really make sure that you're not arching your back. You want to keep it nice and rounded. You just got, like, I like to imagine like I got sunbeams coming out the back of my toes, and I'm really reaching towards that back wall behind me. Here we go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, working upper body, abs, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Your upper body's working to hold you up. Your lower body's working with that leg, that stabilizer. You're squeezing that butt on that lifted leg, and your abs are also holding you up in a little bit of a plank right here, right? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Make sure you check that head position. Are you looking down towards your legs? Are you looking up at me on the TV? I'm talking you through it. Just look right in front of you on the floor. 1 more time, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, just kind of rock it back a little bit. We're actually going to work a side plank, so I'm going to come into the side position, and there's a couple different ways that we're going to do this, but we are actually going to do it on our knee, and I'm going to grab a very light weight. I've got a 3. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 pounds, I would suggest maybe don't go up to 5 just yet until maybe you've done this this workout a few times, okay? So we're gonna come into a side plank position. I'd rather you upgrade the plank than upgrading the weight, if that makes sense. So modified here, you've got your bottom knee is bent and your top leg is straight, and you're gonna come into a plank. So right here, I've got my knee on the ground, I've got my top leg straight out, and I've got my elbow right underneath my shoulder. I'm actually gonna scoot a little bit here. Okay, so my top arm is gonna do the work. So I'm gonna grab that weight, it's a 3, so I'm coming up to the top, and then I'm gonna come and tap the ground. Up to the top, down and tap the ground. Up to the top, you're really gonna feel some heat building right here. Up to the top, and back down. So this arm, I can look up at the ceiling, kind of see it right in front of my shoulder. And up, and down. And let's do 4 more. And down, and 3, and down, and 2. Again, squeezing in this side plank. 1 more. Up, and down. And you can drop that plank, but I'm just going to show you for a second. We're really working this side of the body right here, right where this is lifting up. As you squeeze through that hip and squeeze through the side of the abs right there, you're really working the side part of the obliques. I'm going to flip sides. We're going to do this again on this side. So again, I've got my shoulder under, or my elbow underneath my shoulder. My bottom knee is bent right in line with my other knee, and my top leg is straight. First, I'm just going to lift up into that side plank. Let's see if it looks better. There we go. All right, so lift up in that side plank. A nice straight line from my shoulder all the way to my toe. I'm going to grab that weight. I'm just going to lift it up to the ceiling. It just comes right by my chest. Just up to the ceiling. Just open it up and down. So we're working the back muscles, working the shoulder muscles. A little bit of a tricep here as we pull in that row. A little bit of a bicep as we descend. Up and down. We got 4 more. Up and 4. Activate that top leg. Press out. We got 2 more. Down. 1 more. Up and down. All right, good. Lower it down. And we're going to work our arms a little bit more right here. So going to do a push-up into a plank. So we're actually going to build on this exercise a little bit. So the first one we're going to do is a push-up on our knees. So we're going to come into position right here. So remember how we get into a plank on our knees? We actually go into a plank with our toes up, and then I'm going to drop my knees so that I'm in one straight line, a diagonal from my shoulders all the way to my hips, okay? So I've got it here, show you from the side, a little bit of an angle view. I'm going to lower down to the ground in a push-up, come back up, right there. Just give me 5 push-ups right here. We're going to go down and up, and down, and up. Just go as far as you can. Just working on that range of motion. But my head is in line with my spine. And up. I think we've got 1 more. Down and up. Good. Just rock it back into child's pose a little bit right here. Okay, so we're going to add on to that. We're going to do a push-up, and then we're going to activate the toes and the legs, and then come up to a plank. So again, get into your plank, and then drop your knees. My feet are actually going to stay tucked under, because after I do my push-up, I'm going to come to a plank, okay? Here we go. 6, 7, we got 5 of these. Down, up, lift to a plank, and lower the knees. Down, up, lift to a plank, lower the knees. Down, up, lift to a plank, lower the knees. Down, up, lift, and lower. We got 1 more. Down, up, lift, and lower. Good. Okay, so now we're going to take the plank and we're going to transition into a down dog. So we're going to work this again, same position here. So I've got an actual plank this time, coming into a plank, feet are sliding, and then I'm going to raise my hips to the ceiling in a down dog. My hands come in between my arms, and then I'm going to come right back to my plank. So if you need to, you can bend your knees a little bit in this position, but you really want to work on the flexibility in your hamstrings. A little bit of a yoga pose. As I do this, I'm tucking my navel into my spine, and I'm imagining like I got a string through my belly button that's pulling my belly button up to the ceiling, okay? As I do this, my head just stays right in line with the spine, okay? So resist the urge to tuck your head right there. Just let it follow naturally where it's going. We got one more. Up. And lower down. Okay, good. This is challenging stuff. We are working a lot of upper body, really working through the core. And I know you're not jumping around and moving around a whole bunch, but this type of exercise is really, really crucial because it builds on all of the balance muscles, and it really helps your body stabilize and understand the slower twitch movements, which are just as important as, you know, jumping and running and doing all those things. We really sometimes have to slow it down. My heart rate is still up, so if you're doing this stuff right, you're still gonna sweat. Okay, so we're coming in, we're gonna put all of that together, okay? So I'm gonna come into my plank, lower my knees down. I've got one push-up, okay? Gonna push up, gonna lift to my plank, I'm gonna transition into down dog, and then I'm going to come right back into my plank, lower my knees. Push up, let those arms go out to the side, and then push up. Down dog. Make sure you got a nice grip on your feet so you're not sliding back and forth. Tuck the toes, push up to down dog, and transition back down. We got two more just like that. Down, up, pop the knees up into plank, down dog. Really get a good stretch right there. You should feel the stretch on your shoulders, on the back of your legs, a little bit your hips. Tuck the feet up, down dog, and back into plank, and drop your knees. Okay, good news, bad news. We're gonna do that again. So if you didn't quite feel like you got it that time, we get another chance to try it, okay? Bad news? No, there is no bad news. We get to do it again, right? So, all right, make sure that if you are really sweating on the ground underneath you, to take a towel, wipe off that sweat so that your hands don't slip. We're gonna do that one more time. We've only got 5 more. So we got the push up, into the plank, into the down dog. You guys can do it. Here we go. All right, so we got lower down, and we've got a push up, lift, up, and down. So here's a challenge. If you want to, you don't have to go down to your knees for that push-up, okay? You can keep it on your toes if you want. Lift, up. I'm trying a few on the toes right now. That's okay. If you want to drop to your knees, work on this one. Next time you do it, try a couple on the toes. I think we've got 2 more. I might have threw an extra one in there. I don't know. That's okay, right? We get a bonus. And 1 more. I'd rather do 1 too many than 1 too few. Up and down. All right, excellent job. You're doing so good. You can grab water at any point you need it, of course. I'm gonna come back into a seated position. On my butt, I am actually gonna grab 2 of my lighter weights. Again, I'm working with 3s on this one. If you've got a 1 pounder, 2 pounder, 3 pounder, I suggest going light, or you can do this without weights. So this one's called a bow and arrow, and I'm going to show you here kind of at an angle so that you can see what both of my arms are doing. So my feet are just in front of me, I've got my knees up, and I'm squeezing my inner thighs together. Very important that you always engage when you're in this position. You want to try and squeeze your inner thighs together as much as you can. Eventually you're going to kind of feel them. You want to let go of that contraction and your knees are going to start falling apart. So if you can, just be mindful, squeeze it in, just keeping everything really tight and together. So we have got a bow and arrow lower crunch right here. So my body is again in this little lean back position, and I'm gonna come over to one side, little twist. I'm gonna draw my bow, and then I'm gonna open that arm up. So I'm gonna come to the other side. I'm gonna draw the bow and open it other side. And bring the hands together, draw the bow, and open it up. Guys, I just sweat when I do this one. Open it up and out and over. See, my legs are coming apart. I squeeze my thighs together. Lots to remember. Again, remember you can do this without weights. Without weights to really get this motion. You might feel this in your lower back. If you're using weights, you feel this in your lower back, just drop the weights, guys. Just drop the weights. We got one more each side. Over. Remember, don't round the back. Keep it nice and tall. One more. I'm shaking. Over and open. Woo! Nice job. Okay. Nice job on that. Okay, we're gonna come down to a laying position, working lower part of the body again. I love leg lifts. It brings me back to my dance days, and I think it's just great for working the booty and the posterior posture muscles. Okay, so I've got my back is nice and tall. I'm in one straight line right here. My feet are stacked. You can put your hand on your hip. You can put it on the ground. I've just got my shoulder right here, my elbow underneath my shoulder. Again, you can lay all the way down if you want to. This bothers my neck when I do this, guys, so I just always like to keep it in this position. All right, so I'm going to bring my top knee up. So I'm going to bring it up to my chest. I'm going to open my leg out into a little PK. I'm going to bring it back down, and then I'm going to bring my feet together. One more time just to show you before we do it. Up, out, PK. I'm squeezing my outer thigh right there. In and lower. Let's go for 10 of them. Ready? Up. Here we go. Lift it up. Turn it out. Bring it in and out. So we're working inner thigh, outer thigh. Outer thigh right there. Inner thigh to squeeze and down. There's 2 and up. And lift. Down. Try not to rock your hips back and forth. That open comes from the back part of your butt. Okay? Not swinging your hips open. That's 4. Up, down, and 5. And up. Out, down, and 6. And up. Out, down, and 7. And up. Out, down, and 8. We got 2 more. Open, close, and 9. I'm feeling this in my butt. Up, out, and close. Good. We're actually going to stay on this side. We're going to keep working this top leg. Here we're going to do a little bit of a burnout on this top side. So I've got my top leg. I'm going to lift it just a few inches off the other one. So I've got maybe a foot in between, okay? And I'm just going to circle. Just circling to the front. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That glute should be burning. 9. Keep it up. We're going to go reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. I'm just going to pull this leg in, get a little bit of a stretch right here. Just kind of pulling my knee up, stretching that glute because we're going to change sides, okay? All right. Here we go. Changing sides. Over to the other side. Make sure you can see both my legs. All right. I'm digging this camera angle here. Okay, this is good. See everything I'm doing. So remember with this one, you're going to lift that knee up. You're going to open it up. PK. Take it down. And then both feet together. Here we go. We got 10. Up and lift and lower and down. Really stabilize those hips. Don't let them move too much. Lower and down. Ballet is such a great foundation for a lot of movement. That's why ballerinas do a lot of this kind of stuff. Makes them very strong in the hips, very strong in all of their postural muscles, right? Because when you look at a ballerina, they have very amazing posture, right? Always held, very tall, shoulders are back, head is up to the ceiling. So they have all these muscles that are supporting that, right? While they spin and glide through the air. So your postural muscles run all the way up and down your body. They go all the way to those intricate muscles in your feet and all the way through the back part of your legs, up the posterior chain, through your back, your core, your obliques, all of it, right? Your shoulders. It's really important to build that good posture. Up also helps as we age with back problems. People with, poor posture when they sit and stand and walk often have a lot of back trouble. I think we've got 2 more. I don't know. I'm talking so much I lost track. You can go back and count. I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm feeling we're getting to 10. And last one. And lower. Good. Okay, so top leg again. We're going to lift it about a foot off the other one. And circle. I'm still pointing my toe. Nice to the side wall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got to reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. Kind of pull that leg in a little bit. A little bit of a stretch right there. Ooh. Okay. We're going to do one more ab exercise, and then the rest of this is going to be some good active recovery stretching. Okay. So I'm going to come into laying position one more time. This one is called a dead bug reach. So my knees are up in tabletop position. You can, if you want to, if that's bothering your lower back, you can put your feet on the ground. And when we extend, you could just do this. Okay, just extending one leg and bringing it back. So my hands are coming to the ceiling. I kind of got mummy arms towards the ceiling. I am going to show you with the advanced version here though, where my knees are off. In front of me, my arm's going to come up. So I'm going to come up here. Show you that again. Opposite side and in. So we just got an opposite reach. It's kind of like doing a bird dog, right? But we're on the ground, on our back. So it's just working the opposite muscles that you'd be working in a bird dog. Sometimes it works that way, right? Where you could just flip your body over and do the same motion and work the opposite muscle chain. We did a modified bird dog when we were holding our leg up behind us. That's what we were doing there. A couple more. We got 3. Really engage those abs. 2, press the leg out. And 1 more. And up. Good. Drop those feet, guys. Okay. Nice job. We're just going to hang out in Shavasana for a second. That just means right here, corpse pose. Arms are going to come up. Feet are going to come out. You're going to try and split the middle part of your body in half. Actively engage your feet and your hands. Here we go. Just stretch. Big inhales and exhales. Try to really take this time to slow your brain down. I know you're thinking, oh, end of my workout, get a shower, go to work, grab my coffee, have breakfast, all these things. Just really take a moment to slow down. You just spend all that time getting into your muscles. Really just take a second here to breathe. I am going to bring my knees up. I'm going to kick my feet up and just bring it to a little bit of a rolling seated position right here. I am going to bring my feet, soles of my feet together, in what we call a butterfly stretch. So I've got my hands on my ankles, my back is nice and tall, roll my shoulders up and back. Just gonna kind of take my head side to side. Do you feel like a dancer? Feel like a ballerina? I'm sure you look like one when you're doing all those leg lifts and all of that. So remember, every time you do this workout, try to do something a little bit tougher. Try to keep your knees off the ground in those push-ups and engage your plank a little bit better and get a little deeper into your stretches on your down dog. It's always something to work on. Always, always something to work on. So with this, I'm going to kick one leg out to the side. Other knee's going to come in. I'm going to just take my arm up and over, just stretching all the way through the middle. You should feel this kind of stretch on the front part of your hip a little bit on this side, and should be getting a hamstring stretch on the other side, and also, of course, activating these muscles on this side of your body. And sometimes those active recovery days are just as important. I'm actually going to keep this position, and I'm going to lean over, roll onto my knee in what we call a pigeon pose. Okay, so I've got my knee here, I'm just resting over my foot, kind of looks like this, and my hands are in front of me, my back is nice and tall, just kind of actively engaging my back leg a little bit. If you want to, you can always take this a little deeper, just really opening up the back of that hip. Okay, come back up into that position. I'm actually going to sit on that hip. I'm going to bend this knee behind me. I'm going to place my back hand, show you towards the front. I'm going to place my hand to the side here. Other hand comes to the ceiling. I'm going to lift up onto my knees, and I'm really going to stretch through the side part of the body here, all the way up. Hand is going to the opposite corner of the ceiling behind you. Really feel that stretch all the way through your abdomen, your hips. Open up that hip in front of you. So the back foot, the back hip is what is really feeling this stretch right now. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. All right, very good. We got to repeat all that on the other side, and then we're finished. So I'm going to come into my butterfly pose right here. Just start it off right here. Just get the hips nice and open right there. I'm going to take that leg out, extend to the side, up and over. Good. So you may still be sweating a little bit in these stretches. That's okay. These stretches are a little bit tougher. So, just getting your body into these positions can actually be very active. So I'm going to scooch back just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to roll onto my knee, stretch in that pigeon. Good. So I've got my actively engaging that back leg. Just stretching forward. Remember, you can always bring your elbows to the ground if you want to. Just keeping your head up, actively engaging your spine. Good job. Bring it back up. I'm going to sit on that front hip. Bend that back knee. This hand comes to the ground. The front leg, same arm comes up. Stretch, push those hips forward, push them towards me. This should feel amazing right here in this hip flexor, okay? That's where you want to feel it. Open up those hips. We sit so much. We sit at our computers, at our desk, in our car, on the couch, when we eat. All of these minutes in the day that we spend sitting, you can take just a few seconds and open up those hips every once in a while. Really going to keep your posture, your pain level down. It's going to keep your balance so much better. It's just going to help your body understand how to circulate blood a lot better as well. Believe it or not, when we have such tight hip flexors and such weak hamstrings and glute muscles, we can actually stop the flow of blood happening through this area. We have your lower and top half connect at the hips, right? So, and for women especially, there's so many important things that happen in that region for us reproductively and hormone-wise. So keeping that blood flow going in that hip area is so important. So I hope you learned some stretches today, even in this last portion, that maybe you can get up and do, or get down on the ground while you're watching TV and just do some of these stretches to keep yourself loose and keep that blood flowing. Stay playful and have an excellent day. I'll see you tomorrow.